Hello and welcome to the Global Voices Unplugged, your favorite all-international student podcast show. This is where we talk all things international student. We talk student lifestyle, student enjoyment, student opportunities, and everything else that comes with being an international student. And joining us in studio today, we have Mr. Andrew Grosso. Well, we know that being an international student, you're thinking of somebody coming to study in the US. Now today we have a US citizen who actually went to study outside. He went to study outside the US and is also still planning to go again, leave outside the US again. So please help me welcome Mr. Andrew Grosso. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Aaron.
Okay, it's all good to have you, all good to have you. So before we go anywhere, we want to know who is Andrew and, where did you grow up in? US is a big country. Where are you from? And everything else that comes with you. Can you define yourself for us?
Yeah, so I grew up in Pennsylvania for the first 10 years. I lived in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and then I moved out here around 4th grade. Been in California ever since. I studied at UC Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Went there 2019. The 2020-21 COVID year, I ended up taking a gap year. So I went back to Santa Cruz in 2021. Left in 2023 to spend my senior year abroad in Japan. Studied at Keio University in Tokyo. Really into rock climbing. I rock climb a lot in the US. I went to a ton of different bouldering gyms out in Japan. And new climbs. The route setting in Japan is super dynamic, super fun. I recommend it. Japan, I heard Korea also has really dynamic climbing. So if you're a climber, definitely recommend checking those out. Also played some volleyball while I was there. Super fun. Going next year to University of Melbourne in Australia to study international business for my master's.
Oh, great. So, did you let's talk about the move from Pennsylvania to California. Did you love it? Are you liking California?
At the time, I wasn't a huge fan, but now, I feel...
What's the big difference between California and Pennsylvania?
First off, the weather. In Pennsylvania, we had more 4 seasons. You had, rainy spring, hot summer, kind of cooling down in autumn, snow in winter. Here, especially when I was in Santa Cruz, it is sunny year round. You have 2 months of rain, maybe from like January to March. But besides that, it's all sun, yeah.
Damn, that's good.
I kind of miss the snow a little bit, yeah.
So, let's talk about you studying in Japan. What made you go to Japan?
So as part of my major, I actually had to pick a language and then go to that country for at least a semester to study abroad in order to graduate.
Okay. So why did you pick Japan to be specific? What pushed you to Japan?
So during that gap year over COVID, initially I'd been taking German at UCSC.
Okay.
But during that COVID year, a lot of the German teachers at Santa Cruz left. I have a friend in the Bay Area who's actually half Japanese. He also took a gap year during that COVID year, and he wanted to take Japanese at DVC, asked me to take it with him, took it with him, really enjoyed the language, got back, German program wasn't doing so great at UCSC, ended up swapping to Japanese and been, studying ever since.
So you kind of know how to speak Japanese?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe you're going to give us, a few tips, just teach us how to, so we can go around and get ourselves some Japanese friends and Japanese followers. And how was the experience like when you finally got to decide, okay, I'm going to Japan, and then the program is there, it's promoting everything. What did you think about Japan? Like, what we see like on social media and everything? What was your perspective and what was the reality?
Yeah, obviously you have like all these reels and shorts and TikToks of like 30-second convenience store runs and all these places in Japan. But when you're like living there, I'm not gonna let you burn through money quick. Like between rent, especially when you're there the first few months, everyone's trying to travel a little bit. So you end up not doing a lot of this touristy stuff like a few months in, and you're kind of, and then there, like Sukiya, Matsunoya, Yoshinoya, like these are like beef bowl places, 400 yen, like $3 for a full
$3?
lunch. Yeah, $3 for like a full lunch.
Whoa! So you say life is cheaper there?
You end up finding cheaper ways to live after you've kind of burnt through and done a lot of like those touristy things you see online.
After you spent all the money you blew.
Oh yeah, you blow through it quick.
Okay, so who was paying for your tuition? Who was paying for this program?
So how you pay for the UC EAP program is however you're paying for your tuition at your university,
Yeah.
it is done through your home university. So you pay tuition to your home school. For me, I was paying my tuition to UCSC,
All right.
and then UC EAP handles the rest. By paying your university to your home, by paying the tuition to your home university, you cover your tuition expenses in Japan.
Also, everything was covered for accommodation.
Accommodation is then left to you. So accommodation, I'd saved up money from work. I covered my accommodation. Accommodation, food expenses are on you, but it's a lot cheaper. So I was paying like $1,300 a month in rent in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
After utilities, it's like $1,300. Yeah, with utilities, electric, and then if I include like gas expenses for the month, about $1,300 to $1,400 a month. And that alone, in Japan, my rent was $500 a month.
Ooh, that's cheap.
Yeah.
So life is cheaper in Japan.
Oh, a lot cheaper. Yeah.
But then, is it? So were you working there? Were you able to like make money, or you actually went with your sack of American dollars to go and spend there?
So I did work while I was there. Fortunately, in the period of time I was there, the dollar hit like a 10-year high in terms of exchange rate. So I was getting a lot of yen to the dollar. However, I did still work in Japan.
Right.
I was an English teaching assistant at the high school, which was affiliated with my university.
All right. So now let's talk social life experience. How was it navigating life in Japan? Like meeting people, doing this, doing that. How was that?
Like the first few weeks are a little, a little rough. You're kind of getting used to it. The university did a great job kind of bringing people into it. I lived at an international dorm. So the setup was 2 Japanese students and 2 international students per apartment. You had 4 rooms, a shared common area, and then a shared bathroom. And then you would be on a floor with like 40 other guys.
Yeah.
And then you had a shared kitchen as well.
Okay.
Between the entire floor.
Also, it was 2 international students and then 2 Japanese in the same dorm.
Yeah.
And then, how did you like the food there and everything?
All the food there is fantastic. It's cheap, and I think they have like a massive focus on the quality of the ingredients over like seasonings and everything.
Yeah.
So you'll get really cheap food with high quality ingredients, and you can get like dinner for $6. If you're cooking for yourself, you can cook pretty cheap as long as you're using rice and kind of some of the cheaper things in grocery stores. Fruit and vegetables can get expensive though. So that is a little warning if you ever go to Japan. Fruit in particular is very expensive. It's kind of viewed as more of a luxury good there, especially the nicer fruits. Bananas, apples can be pretty cheap, but if you're trying to get a larger variety of fruits, they can get pricey.
Okay. And how is being an international student or being identified as an international student kind of shaped how you viewed yourself or how you look at yourself?
It's really, you end up, the first thing that people initially view you as is your country. So they hear you talk, you're American, and then they start asking you questions about your home country. So immediately your expectation going into any conversation is, all right, if I'm meeting someone new, usually the first talking point is like, oh, what's this place that you're from is like? What's that like there? Or,
They ask you if you see Beyonce every day.
yeah,
You see
like,
Beyonce
oh my
every
God,
day.
have you met LeBron James? No, I wish.
So, we hear that people they see you, they see your country. So, what's the certain narrative that people have about the US that you kind of had to, change and redirect? Be like, no, it's not like this, guys. It's actually like this.
That we're very loud, and it's kind of true. I feel like Americans tend to have very very loud, booming voices, and we tend not to really, we live in a country, you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times when people go to other places, they don't really adjust for cultural norms, so we end up with very much a reputation of being loud and a little obnoxious, and to some extent that is true, and it really, when it comes down to it, you end up in a position where you have to kind of get to know people more on a nuanced level. Like there's an initial view they have of your country, but you really have to break it down, especially to get to know people better, that everyone from a certain place is different, and not everyone fits the narrative of the home country. And so there are some narratives that tend to be true stereotypically for a lot of people from a country, but you end up having kind of a nuanced take on it as you get to know people better.
All right. And how is the way people identify you? Would you say you liked it? Would you say it's something that kind of affected you when people were like, oh, you're American, right? Because I know for a lot of people that I've come across here in the US, whenever you talk, and then people be like, wait, you African? Yeah. where you come from? How is it there? Like, for so many questions and everything. And like for some people, it ends up not such a fun experience because it creates this funny feeling that you get. For you, would you say, did that affect you in a way?
Personally, I didn't mind too much.
Because you knew you were loud.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to be a little bit louder, so I'm like, you know what, fair enough. You got me there. So I didn't mind it too much. I just kind of would like laugh it off, joke with them about it.
And so let's talk about the most funny, awkward moments that you've had living in Japan. Like, what was the most embarrassing thing that you've ever come across?
Embarrassing, at least from like a perspective of speaking Japanese, is it was around Christmas time. Me and my friend, we bought matching Santa costumes, and we were walking down the streets of Japan. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go, talk to some Japanese guy about Santa Claus, because Christmas isn't celebrated there, but they do have like Santa. They'll dress like, you know what? I'm gonna go ask this dude if he likes Santa Claus. And if you know Japanese, hoshi and suki are different words. Hoshi means to want, suki means to like. I went up to a Japanese guy and I went, Santa ga hoshi desu ka? Which means, do you want Santa Claus?
Hoshi.
Dressed as Santa Claus. So I'm asking this man if he wants me. I meant to ask him if he likes Santa Claus. I meant to ask him, Santa ga hoshi desu ka? And no, it came out wrong. And then he looked confused, and I'm like, oh, why doesn't he answer my question? So I asked him again. I doubled down. I'm like, Santa ga hoshi desu ka?
Like, did you hear me?
Like, did you hear me? Yeah. I'll ask you again. He gave me the weirdest look. He's like, oh, and he like ran away.
Oh shit!
Didn't make it better. That it was like 11 p.m. like late at night on a
He's
weekend.
like, this guy wants to take me with him.
It's like, where's this man trying to take me? What is Santa trying to do?
Oh, Santa trying to take him away. Oh, that must have been kind of crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I can imagine somebody walking up to you and be like, do you want Santa? And like, wait, what? Shit. Okay. That's funny. And so, what's your perspective of, the difference in life in Japan and in the US? Let's say, like, for example, the lifestyle. Like you said, like, okay, so obviously in the US, you kind of do whatever you want and everything. As you said, like, you live in a country where you're comfortable to do whatever you want. What's the big difference between the rules here and in Japan?
Yeah, there's like a lot of unspoken social norms in Japan that you kind of just pick up on over time.
Okay.
You're not, bound to them in the same way. As a foreigner, you're not really expected to abide by them in the same way, but obviously living there, you kind of want to follow and fit in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in summer, a lot of the guys on the train, most, let's say like 80-90% wear pants. So you're not really like, no one wears shorts in the summer, especially like men, yeah. So it'll be like 90 out and humid, and you'll be sweating.
And you're in
pants.
Pants.
Yeah. But they have like the pants I'm wearing now, I bought in Japan, like parachute pants. They're super light, relatively breathable, still really, really hot.
It is hot.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's awful.
So, wait, you're saying they don't wear shorts at all?
I mean, obviously there's people who do, but generally, yeah.
Generally, they do.
Generally,
they wear pants.
People still be in like full suit and ties in summer. Yeah.
Even the ladies, the girls and everything.
I mean, the style for guys and girls is different. Girls might be in like skirts, but like not the same kind of style as the U.S. in the summer.
Because here in the summer, like I remember when I got here in the summer, you see like you walk around, you see people in like palm shorts and everything, and people are doing whatever they want and nobody cares.
I've never seen that there. Like I spent 2 summers there. Didn't see it once. Yeah.
So you never seen Japanese ties before?
No. I don't believe they exist.
Whoa!
No,
because because like everybody kind of wears ties, dresses and skirts and everything. But okay, so would you say somebody who grew up, let's say like in the Bay Area, like it's really hot here, and like the fashion sense in the Bay Area obviously matches with the weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say for somebody who grew up in the Bay Area, that person is able to cope in Japan with the fashion sense, just fashion-wise?
I had to I went to Santa Cruz, and it's a beach town, and
exactly.
My entire wardrobe was shirts and shorts and t-shirts.
Okay.
So when I got there, I didn't have any winter clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I used to wear flip-flops all the time. Never wear those. I would never wear those in Japan. Always closed-toed shoes. So I had to buy a full set. I had very few pants because it's hot year round in Santa Cruz. You can get away with wearing shorts pretty much all year.
Yeah.
So I had to buy like pants. I had to buy a winter jacket there because it would get down to like below 30 sometimes in the winter, especially when I traveled up to Sapporo. It was like 10 degrees up there. I had to get a winter jacket for when I was there. Had to get, some heat tech pants, just more pants in general. So if you have like a beach kind of wardrobe and you wear like flip-flops a lot and you're in shorts and t-shirts a lot, you might have to get some.
You might have to reshop.
Might have to reshop a little bit. Luckily, clothes there are cheap though, so you can get away with it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So now let's talk more about like personal growth. What has living in Japan done for you? You know that like perspectives change as people grow up. The way you view the world is not the way you used to view it in Pennsylvania is not the same way you viewed it when you're in California. And then has going to Japan kind of added up to that or kind of improved it in a way?
Yeah, I think it's kind of increased like my overall international awareness.
Okay.
I had a chance to interact in my dorm. It was very multicultural. There were people from Spain, France, Italy, Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, China, like everywhere across the world you had people in the dorm. And I have a lot of friends from, other countries now, and I had a chance to really talk to them and then kind of hear what they've gone through throughout their lives, get an idea of, what's like growing up somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of improved my awareness that the way we live in the US is not indicative of the lifestyle that most of the world has.
Okay, so it changed.
Yeah.
All right. That's great. And I hear that you're planning to move to Australia as well.
Yeah, for my master's degree, I'm going to go to University of Melbourne.
So is that still part of the same program, or that's just you flexing your muscles and flexing your pockets?
It's more so like I study global business and international economics. I believe that the more experience I have internationally in studying business internationally not only improves my like candidacy for certain jobs, but also makes me more capable of doing my job effectively, especially if I have to work with people from that country, being able to relate to them to some extent on certain things, because if you live somewhere, you have an easier time relating to someone than if you hadn't. So
do you plan on coming back to the US after you're done studying?
That's the plan right now, but again, things kind of change dynamically, job offers, whatever happens, so
whatever pops up.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's one thing that you'd say is your take home? It's gonna be your take home, like from everything. What's one thing that you're kind of expecting to come out with from all these, traveling, coming back? What's gonna be your take home besides your qualifications? Is there anything else that you say, what, I'm gonna take this and then it's gonna add up to how I view myself as an American? As you said, like perspectives, people, view Americans in a different way. Is there something that you say, I'm gonna take this and then it's gonna kind of help and shape you as an American citizen?
Yeah, I think just improving myself as a global citizen and being able to, have those different worldviews and incorporate those into my own view of the world, and not just kind of take things from the way that, U.S. news kind of orchestrates and illustrates other countries and cultures and their experiences. Being able to actually interact with people from those countries and hear what they have to say, and then be able to kind of incorporate that into not only what I believe, but also kind of how I express and talk about those countries and those cultures as well.
That's awesome. And what's one thing that you might want to share with whoever is, an international student, or whoever is planning to be an international student, might not just be here or anywhere else?
Yeah, if you are on the edge of deciding, you're on the fence about it, and you're right now 50-50 and you want to do it, I say take the jump. I think going abroad is a priceless experience. Every friend I have who's been abroad has loved the experience. They recommend it to anyone else who's asked. I say if you have the ability to do it and you want to do it, but you're still on the fence, you're afraid of going away from home, take the jump. I think you will appreciate it. And even if it's just for a few months, it is really, truly a life-changing experience. And I think you won't regret it.
It is a life-changing experience and you won't regret it. Once again, this was the Global Voices Unplugged. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be bringing you more. Just, stay tuned as we're going to be bringing you more insight on international student lifestyle and international student experience. Once again, Global Voices Unplugged, and I am your host. I go by the name of Aaron. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.